Good day, my viewers. I think we all know that this anime wasn't able to share in the limelight as it was a typical action anime, and that it was overshadowed by other popular anime titles like Freerun. Ningen Fushin was released during winter 2023, and on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it an okay rating. The story isn't as appealing, and the MC, in complete fairness, does inhibit some degree of charm, but this anime selling point would most likely be its waifus. Jokes aside, today I'm going to recap Ningen Fushin. Hope you enjoyed this video, and let's get started. The anime starts with introducing the Labyrinth City, where, of course, from the name itself, is a labyrinth-filled city. There we see adventurer Nick, who is a swashbuckler of Masters of War, who has a girlfriend and plans to make the Masters of War an A-rank party. Then suddenly, he is kicked off by his mentor Argus, and his girlfriend Claudine dumps him. Disillusioned Nick adopts to an otaku lifestyle, centered on teen idol Agate. To support this lifestyle, Nick returns to exploring but needs a new crew. At an inn, he happens to sit next to a sorceress, Tiana, an ex-priest Zem, and dragon girl Kuran, all of whom are disillusioned over something. Tiana is a magical genius who was dumped by her jealous fiancé, which led to her becoming a gambling addict, and failed to become an adventurer since her staring eyes scared away potential teammates. Zem used to be a healer priest until he turned down the advances of a young village girl. She then accused him of, for lack of a better term, physical advancements, quote-unquote, you can guess what I mean, which resulted in his removal from the clergy. He planned to become an adventurer, but after breaking his pledge of chastity, he turned into a drunken womanizer. Kuren simply states that someone she trusted stole something from her. The four drank together since they all struggle to trust others. Nick realizes they will remain disillusioned until they take action, so they suggest forming a team together named The Survivors. At the guild, Nick discovers Kuran is framed for being the lone survivor of a team who tackled a C-rank labyrinth, and all of them died. Nick chooses to call their new squad The Survivors, and because each team member has trust issues, they establish rules that make it impossible to access team earnings unless all four agree. As a new team, they begin at the G rank and must fight 2 G-level labyrinths to advance. Tiana accidentally casts a spell at Kuran, which results in elevating trust issues. They approach the dungeon monster, a huge slime, which Tiana foolishly kills on her own, coating everyone in slime, which kinda irritates Kuran. As a team building exercise, Nick urges everyone to confess their strengths and weaknesses. Tiana apologizes to Kuran by revealing she is weak against fire and close combat, at which Kuran was able to understand, restoring a bit of trust. Then they roamed around the forest and stumbled upon some goblins and were able to defeat some. Then Tiana scouts the area for any possible goblin attacks and confirms at least 10 more goblins about 500 meters away from them. As they advance forward, they meet an intelligent, magic-resistant ogre along with a group of goblins, and Kuran was able to trust Tiana to defend her while she kills the ogre. Everyone felt a bit closer until Nick accidentally leads Kuran to a drop and destroy a valuable charm from her purse. In the past, Kuran served the human she believed would become the hero who's named Carius. Kuran was duped by a traitor, but Carius exposed the crime which forced the traitor to give back Kuran's treasured necklace. Carius finally deceived her and stole the Dragon King gem, a jewel sacred to the Dragonkin that she was tasked with protecting for her whole life. After failing to find Carius, she gave up, until she met Phipps, a powerful adventurer who was allowed to explore labyrinths alone. He was also a well-known foodie, and despite their brief conversation, he motivated Kuran to resume her adventures. In the present, Nick attempts to buy a new necklace as an apology, but Agate, Nick's friend from before and also, you guessed it, a famous idol, proposes that he simply remains as Kuren's buddy. Kuran, who is not outraged about the necklace, is just pleased that her life is better than before. The 4 party members understand they are gaining popularity in the guild and rejoice. The guild unexpectedly employs them to investigate a dungeon said to hold the sacred sword of bonds. Through Nick's intuition, they were able to locate the sword of bonds, which possesses intelligence and was able to talk. At first, the party didn't believe that it was the actual sword, thus it explains that it can only be used by those who have developed deep links of friendship. Then they grab the sword, which triggers a golem composed of liquid nanomachines that cannot be harmed. Kuran carelessly tried to attack the golem but was then hit and wounded in the process. As Nick tries to stab the golem, it regenerates. All of his attacks are rendered useless. The sword advises Nick to activate it, which he succeeds, but Sword, it's fully autonomous by the way, is perplexed since Nick's friendship links aren't strong enough to activate him entirely. He still tried to attack the golem with the underpowered sword and was able to cut a part of it, which suddenly is brought to life, and distracts Nick from the golem to land a hit on him. Nick falls to a lower floor and Kuran saves him while the rest of the party distract and attack the golem. As soon as Kuran was able to get a hold of Nick, she confesses to Nick that she kept the necklace to remind her of Carius, but it kept her locked in the past, therefore Nick breaking it allowed her to go on with her life. Their bonds completely activated the sword, combining them into one body. With their combined powers, the golem was finally defeated. After everything that has happened, they gave the sword to the guild for the bounty, only to reveal it was a weaker copy and that the actual sword is inside a nearby storeroom, and that the sword calls himself Kizuna. Later, he has joined their team and as a young man. After getting a hefty pay for their mission, they decided to use it for their own hobbies. Tiana invites Bond to accompany her since he doesn't have his own hobby yet. At the beginning of the episode, Nick reveals that they overspent all their money and are left with only a few bronze coins. Then they all wish that they could return to their previous life. Tiana dreams of her academy instructor, whose career she unintentionally wrecked due to her own ambitions, while Nick dreams about his ex, Claudine. Their dreams are unintentionally produced by Kizuna's telepathy. While monster hunting, Kizuna shows that he possesses the sword talents of all his previous wielders. Then the party decided to take a quick break after exhaustion since Kizuna uses the party's mana and stamina while performing his talents. While in a restaurant with Kuran and Kizuna, Nick notices Claudine, a well-known con artist attempting to steal a young man's money using the same trick she previously used on Nick. Claudine departs after Nick exposes her. Claudine later instigates a fight between Nick and her party leader, Leon of the Iron Tigers. However, in private, Leon tells Nick that he will soon dump Claudine, since she has already made him wealthy, and that her scams attract way too much attention. He also congratulates Nick for forming the Survivors Party, and Leon thinks that Nick is robbing his current members as well. After hearing what Leon had to say, Nick was fed up, and knocked him unconscious forever, considering betraying his first real friends. The guild leader breaks them up since a street brawl is not appropriate for career adventurers. Instead, Leon challenges Nick to a classic mathematics bare-knuckle battle. Ima explains that bare-knuckle mathematics involves 10 rounds of brawling, and the chosen player should answer these mathematical questions. Then Kuran was selected through Gacha. That's right, Gacha. And she's scared as she's not good at math. Then on the day of the challenge, Nick and Leon fought while Kuran and Claudine solved math problems to end each round. Whoever answers the most questions correctly gets to have their fighter land a free punch. Kuran panics because she's bad at math. Zem discovers that the Iron Tigers are planning to cheat through a party member named Beg. Kuran loses to Claudine in rounds 1 and 2, and Nick receives 2 punches. Beg is nowhere to be found by the rest of the survivors. Kuran loses the 3rd round, and Nick gets struck again. The survivors believe Beg is waiting for the later rounds. To force him to appear, Tiana suggested that they answer all the questions at once, even though if Kieran fails, Nick will be hit 7 times. Guildmaster Vilma agrees, so Claudine utilizes telepathy crystals to obtain the proper answers from Beg. As soon as they used the crystals, Tiana was able to sense Beg and he was apprehended by the survivors, who also exposes Claudine's telepathy crystal. The Iron Tigers were arrested, and Claudine sobs, admitting she never intended to be a criminal, and despises who she has become. Kieran is glad she learned arithmetic, because she can now spot deals on restaurant menus. In episode 7, Leon reflected a bit of his past, where there was a party once called the Silver Tigers, and Bishop, that's Bishop but with a T, is his older brother, and its leader with rare intelligence that Bishop was able to attain every imaginable wealth only to die a miserable death. Then Leon is questioned about a relic he took from a labyrinth years ago, the Sword of Evolution. Tiana, Nick, and Kizuna are having fun in a casino when Leon, who is looking for Nick, attacks them, and after he escapes with the sword, and evolves into a monster. Leon, whose sense of smell can now detect lies, threatens Tiana over Nick's whereabouts. Tiana is amused by Leon's idea that she and Nick are buddies. Leon's nose tells him that Tiana doesn't believe Nick will save her, so he plans to kill her in an attempt that Nick might save her. Moments later, Nick was able to arrive in time, and saves her with Kizuna in his Sword of Bond form, which surprises Tiana. Then Evolution gave Leon more power, and takes possession of his body, raging violently. Tiana and Nick demonstrate their true friendship by using Bond's full strength to merge into one body. Leon, despite his hatred for humans, refuses to believe he is genuinely evil and allows Tiana or Nick to cover him in the casino's anti-magic playing cards, returning him to normal. Leon eventually returns to prison, and he is pleased that he's not evil at heart. And especially since Nick revealed that he avoided killing anybody despite Evolution's hold over him. Agate meets Nick, and is amazed by how far he has gone. But Nick is concerned about her because she has suddenly cancelled all her concerts and public appearances. Agate explains that her true name is Belle Haggins, and she was formerly a singer at her lover Donnie's failing bar before a music producer recognized her ability and turned her into an idol. She fell in love with the lifestyle but became dissatisfied with Donnie, especially after he started stealing her idol's money for gambling, saying it was to preserve the bar. That was when one day she was able to notice Nick and Claudine breaking up, and soon followed Nick despite the rain, and that's where they first met at the fountain. Then one day at a casino, she witnessed Tiana, whom she considers the avatar of gambling itself, successfully winning all of Donnie's money before assisting Nick in defeating the transformed Leon, which inspired Agate to idolize Tiana as her paladin. In the present, Agate breaks up with Donnie and resumes hosting concerts, crediting her return to her paladin, which Nick realizes was himself, and Tiana using Kizuna's strength. Then during the concert, Agate was able to produce a song that was dedicated to the paladin. Agate meets with Nick again, certain that they will continue to go forward. The party were discussing about the Stepping Man when suddenly Olivia Taylor appears, in which she's an adventurer/amateur journalist. Thanks to her, Kizuna becomes obsessed with the Stepping Man, a monster that can leap over rooftops and kidnaps children. Later at night, while Zem was strolling around town, he suddenly noticed a girl getting kidnapped by something. Kizuna was able to sense Zem in danger, and he and Nick rush in to save Zem. Afterwards, the Stepping Man ran away and couldn't take the girl named Reina. Reina was able to share a bit about her mother trying to chase down the Stepping Man, and nobody believes her, but the party was there to witness and confirm its presence. Now that they have the confirmation that Stepping Man is indeed a human, employing invisibility magic, the survivors try to find an idea to capture him. They discovered that Stepping Man has a bounty for his arrest, but the Mercenary Guild insists on capturing a smaller prize first. Hale Hardy, a suspected killer, Ash, a mercenary who is unhappy at the survivors, who take up mercenary employment, bets Tiana on their ability to capture Hale. They track Hale down to the slums where they pressed on for information on Hale's location, and reveal that he's in the bedrooms. But Zem, as a healer, is concerned by the living circumstances of the numerous ill, drug-addicted, and dying residents. Once they've reached the bedrooms, they manage to capture Hale, and the survivors were confronted by Dr. Nalgava, another ex-priest who has been treating him for yellow demon sickness. When asked about Stepping Man, Hale says he's seen a reporter taking in children. After turning in on the bounty on Hale, the betters who doubled the survivors' loss and Tiana takes their money only to treat them with unlimited booze for the night. The following day, they found out Olivia and Reina in the saloon. The survivors can't overlook Olivia's odd behavior and question her about being Stepping Man. Olivia flees by jumping right through the building's roof like Stepping Man would. Reina's mother, a retired adventurer, Ada the Sommelier, is now healed and grateful the survivor saved her daughter. Reina requests to become Zem's disciples, but he declines, stating that his previous experience gave him a fear of young girls. Ada plans to prepare the survivors against Stepping Man's abilities, light body for flying and heavy body for strength. After seeing Stepping Man again, Nick doubts it's Olivia. Nick, suspecting Stepping Man is utilizing a magic artifact, seeks Leon's counsel and discovers that the most likely artifact is an illusion king gem. Its illusions are readily destroyed by approaching the user by name. Therefore, Olivia is not Stepping Man. Olivia later assaults them, thinking Nick is Stepping Man. After confirming that none of them is Stepping Man, Olivia explains that Stepping Man was her adventurer title prior to becoming a reporter, implying that Stepping Man is exploiting her title and talents to frame her. When they examine a dead girl, one of Stepping Man's victims, they discover an illusion gem piece, intended to conceal her identity. With a shard removed, she is revealed to be Martha, a blacksmith's daughter undergoing treatment for yellow demon sickness. Zem believes he understands who Stepping Man is. The survivors confronted Stepping Man and revealed his name, Dr. Nalgava. His obsession with curing yellow demon sickness began when his daughter died because of it. The disease is, for lack of a better term, inter-transmitted, so when she died, Nalgava went mad with the rumors of how his daughter became infected. By testing abducted children, Nalgava demonstrated that it may also be transmitted through contact with contaminated blood. Zem confronts him with the pain he caused his victims' parents, but Nalgava remains unrepentant. To keep the truth hidden, an armored warrior named White Mask attempts to murder Nalgava and the survivors unexpectedly. Kiran and Tiana were injured, so Olivia distracts White Mask by identifying his armor as a relic, like Kizuna. Nick and Zem, utilizing Kizuna's bond ability, managed to defeat the White Mask. The White Mask is amused that they have truly injured him, so he spares their lives and leaves. Injured by falling debris and sick with the yellow demon sickness, Nalgava chooses to die when the rubble falls. Olivia confesses to the survivors that she too is a weapon relic, like Kizuna, the anti-demon god Sword of War. After defeating Stepping Man, the survivors all go into a state of depression, reflecting on the past. Nick remembers meeting Argus, who rescued him from the bandit who murdered his parents. Zem, on the other hand, takes over Nalgava's clinic in the slums. Tiana returns to gambling, but she no longer finds joy in it. When the survivors met, they are puzzled about what to do next. Kiran begins to think about Karios, wondering if she'd forgotten about him and moved on. Olivia discovers proof that the Dark Demon God will soon return, with White Mask somehow involved. She's also looking into the illegal, or just the black market, that sold Nalgava the Illusion King Gem. Kiran grew an interest in the market, since it might be where Karios sold her Dragon King Gem. The survivors pledge that if she ever wishes to find her gem, they will assist her. Suddenly inspired, the survivors decided to uncover the truth, which is to expose White Mask and prevent the Dark Demon God from returning. Kizuna and Olivia, two immortal relics who will outlast the survivors, believe that the survivors have the potential to vanquish the dark demon god, but there's still a long way to go. And that's a wrap up for Ningen Fushin. It's not really the best anime or iconic anime, but it has, like I said, some charm to it. The only most important thing that I can think of that a person can get from this series is that friendship is what keeps a group of people pushing forward, overcoming any obstacle. I know it's a very common and cliche topic, but hey, at least we got to see the city of Labyrinth. That's it for this recap. Hope to see you soon and have a good one. Goodbye.